Ready for another round? It's Brewsday Tuesday. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Ooh.
Way better than me.
And Erik LEWS is in the house. He let it be known. It is Brewsday Tuesday right here in Studio B, baby. We are. You better believe it. That's what it stands for. We got Erik LEWS, home brewer, over there in Blacksburg. Although, based on all the merch that he's bestowed upon us, we got the glasses, we got the koozie. Great color choice for the koozie, by the way. Nice little, is that, I might be mistaken, but is that burnt orange and Chicago maroon colors?
That would be it.
Where do I know those colors from?
So we went from stout to Mexican lager to now, and I'm assuming, is this why you picked Smashing Pumpkins as a nice segue for this beer?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what am I pouring?
Yeah, so this is a pumpkin porter brewed with canned pumpkin. Actually brewed it with some sort of pumpkin, which a lot of the pumpkin beers out there now are just spices.
Mm-hmm.
Threw a little bit of spice in at the end to help it out. And also brewed it with some lactose sugar so it wouldn't ferment out to make it a little creamy. Just to throw it out there, it's a little older. I mean, it is a pumpkin beer.
Yeah, so you've been sitting on these, the pumpkin beers, the shelf life, I guess it's, depends on the pumpkin beer, I suppose. So I'm assuming, was this your first go at a pumpkin, or have you done a couple of them in the past?
That was I've done a couple of them in the past.
ABV?
ABV is around 6. Like I said, it could be a 6 or 6.5. Measured at a 6, give or take a little, being a home brewer.
Okay. Maybe bring the microphone a little closer to you, or yes, later. Yeah, I could taste that. It does taste, and immediately I'm like, this is more to my liking. I don't know if it's just the ABV or it is smooth. It is got some nice pumpkin notes to it. So one of the things I did want to ask you is, I know one of the things that when it comes to home brewing is obviously, you're brewing, you have some friends over, you share some beers with these people, whatever. Have you entered into any like contests? I know that, I think Brewdo does some like home brewing categories and stuff. Have you tried any of that sort of stuff with your beers?
I have. I've sent off to a couple. A couple of them were not so, like I said, be honest with me when you have the beers.
Yeah. They were brutally honest.
They were brutally honest. But folks tell me it's the same thing. I go back to patience. Don't give up if something doesn't work out exactly the way you want. You actually learn because you get the notes back of these professional, certified beer judges that judge.
Well, I know
your
it can
beer.
It can be tough with those too because they are very, like you said, not only critical, but it has to be like exactly in the category that you're entering it to, or they'll be like, no, this is disqualified or whatever, or you just get terrible marks because you're not doing it to the T. I guess it depends on how. I'm mainly thinking of the world beer. What's that one called? The big one. You should know this. Come on, help a brother.
Well, there's
out.
a national homebrew competition.
Okay, not the homebrew.
I think
I'm talking
the
about the big one.
BAC,
The brewer.
the association.
Thank you. Yeah, they're big sticklers, of course. But if you're talking homebrews, you think they would have a little bit more leeway.
Nah, I'm telling you, they'll let you know. I mean, those guys know what they're doing, and you get the feedback. So, and I read around a little bit about sending it off the first time, and they were like, just the articles I read were like, don't get disappointed, don't be, because you might think you're great. And you send it off, and you're brought back down to earth really quick.
Yeah.
I sent one off to an Oktoberfest out in Wisconsin. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It was. I thought it was decent. I thought it was a pretty good beer, but it was.
That is Wisconsin.
You're also sending a beer all the way to Wisconsin. Like, how do you package it?
Very carefully, and.
I mean, I feel like that would be a huge factor in itself. You know?
You just send it.
There are
And
a lot
hope
of
for the best. Yeah, I mean, you got to bubble wrap it. There's ways to do it.
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, I'm assuming if you're brewing the beer, you want to keep it cold to keep it properly tasting proper, right?
And this is when I bottle condition it. If I know I'm going to send one off, I'll bottle condition it versus the keg.
Okay.
So it stays warm.
Okay.
So when it ships, nothing really nothing really affects it while it's shipping unless it busts, which has happened to me the first time I sent it off. Fortunately, they were nice enough to email me back and said, hey, one of your bottles busted in the mail. So I had to learn a valuable lesson on that one as well. So, but yeah, they're the ones that I've sent off to have been valuable in the way that you get the notes back, you get all the scores, you get everything.
And so, and they detailed notes.
Detailed notes.
That's good.
And there's actually, they have to, the ones that I've entered, they put their email down there. If you have a question, you can actually email the guy and say, hey, what did you see or not see here? The best luck I've had, I sent one up to State College, Pennsylvania, my winter warmer, which I actually happened to have it with me a little later, but sent it up there, had no idea. This was the first one I'd ever entered. Just picked it offline, sent it, ended up winning a blue ribbon for it. So,
oh, wow.
So I was pretty impressed with that one.
I might need to try that blue ribbon here in just a second. So does it, when it comes to these, is there any sort of a cost for entry? You pay to ship them the beer, and you know what? Maybe I need to start my own beer.
Start a competition.
Start a competition. That's not a bad idea.
No entry fee. Just send us beer.
Yeah, just send me beer. I'm fine with that. I'll drink your beer.
Let me know when you do that. No, there is an entry fee.
Is it?
$8, $10,
Okay,
whatever it
so
is.
it's nothing too crazy.
That's not prohibitive.
And it usually goes to the homebrew chapter that's putting it together and stuff like that. So, and there is, I talk about homebrew chapters. There is a New River Valley Brewers Guild here. It's kind of, they're trying to revamp it and get it rolling again. But it's all on Facebook. So if anybody's interested there.
So is it just sort of like you get together every month or so and you just kind of talk brewing beer?
They usually have.
I'm assuming there's beer involved?
There is definitely beer involved. And the ones I've been to, 3 or 4 of the last few, have been quite entertaining. Bunch of guys get around, guys and ladies as well. You just kind of bring everything together and set it on the table, and
so do you have to be a brewer to join, I guess?
No,
or maybe if you're even just interested?
I mean, if you're interested, you just jump on the Facebook page and just follow along.
And what is this Facebook page that I need to join?
DreZ and I are gonna walk in like lucky lose.
No, it's the New River Valley Homebrewers Guild. So it's cool. You can learn stuff. I mean, and like I said, it kind of died off for a while, but they're picking it back up. There's a couple folks in town that host the meetings, and I actually hosted one last summer, which is hard to get everybody together in the summer because of vacations and stuff like that. But at least with the Facebook group, you can get on, you can watch, you can learn, and valuable information going through there as well. So there's so many resources out there now to learn how to do it.
So I'm going to say this now with one final sip of the pumpkin left. This has been my favorite so far.
That's the quickest I've ever seen you drink a pumpkin beer.
I'm very thirsty. And I know we have 2 more beers to drink, and we're already running quite long. So I'm going to give this a 4.75. I'm going to leave a little room for, because I got a feeling you got a couple more beers.
There's a 5 in the bag.
There might be a 5 in that bag. We'll see. So can you pass me that winter warmer you were talking about? And then I'm going to ask you a question about.
I actually have a question if you.
Okay. I'll let Nate ask a question finally. You can do that.
So you mentioned that you get these notes back and it's one of those, don't get defeated, don't beat yourself down. But how immediately are you reanalyzing your process? Like, is it one of those situations where, I've got this in the keg, I've got this ready to go, so I've got to wait and think and perseverate on it? Or are you just like, you know what? Let's throw it at the wall like spaghetti, see what sticks?
Both ways. Sometimes it's a little tough to get over, and you got to get over your beat down at first, but a lot of times you just get up, dust yourself off, and get going at it again and try it. But the Oktoberfest, I haven't tried it again just because it's not that season. And, I've filed my notes away. I know what I've got to do. I think I know what I did wrong the last time. So try it again and see what happens and go from there.
Are you going to send it back to Wisconsin?
I think I'm done with that group.
Were they just really mean about it, or was it just
Just
Didn't-
and a big thing, the style, it just wasn't up to the
No.
style code. You
Okay.
know, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Wasn't there. And there again, the first go around, I thought, let's try it.
So what's your favorite thing about brewing beer?
My favorite thing is just making something on your own. And when you pop the bottle, when it's actually
I did
ready
that.
to drink, I made that.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can't get this anywhere but here. But in my garage is the only place.
To get this exact anything that tastes exactly like this. That's what I always think. It's got to be rewarding.
Stamp
you know?
of pride.
And I don't go to the grocery stores. I may have said this earlier, but I don't go to the grocery stores and browse up and down, the aisles and looking for different beer. I don't do that anymore because why do it when you have 6 taps in your garage?
Yeah.
And you make it and, you can share it, you can do whatever. And
You were mentioned earlier. You said, oh, that's another $100 or whatever. How cost effective is brewing your own beer?
it used to be awesome.
Yeah, it
Till
used
the
to
last-
be. Unlike everything else,
Till he really got
everything got
involved.
expensive.
Till the last year and a half. It just, the grain everything just went up.
Everything.
And it kind of did. You get mad when you walk into the store and you see a beer that's brewed down the street at a local brewery, and it's used to be $10 and now it's $12, $13, and you're like, I'm not paying for that. But people don't realize that their costs has gone up too.
Yeah, everything's just going up.
And in order to do it, you gotta, you gotta pay it.
Mm-hmm.
And supporting these local craft guys out here.
So I know you're saying you don't go down to the grocery store, but you do frequent breweries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I go on vacation, that's the first thing I'm looking for.
I'm
You
right
know,
there with you.
That's it.
Mhm.
I'm ready to go. And
What's the best brewery? Your favorite brewery you've ever been to?
oh man.
I'll even help you on vacation. What's a standout, like where you went somewhere, went to a brewery, whether it was a destination brewery or one you just didn't even know about that was a gem?
Actually, the coolest one I think I've been to out in Colorado. I did a little stint out there.
There's
going around, but
breweries in Colorado?
just a few.
Yeah.
Coors.
But there used to be a TV
Molson.
show on way back, and they went around different breweries in the state. But they showed the new Belgian brewery, with the bicycle and
Mhm,
the
mhm.
car and
Okay,
everything.
so that's also my favorite brewery I've visited, but not the Colorado version, the Asheville flavor.
Oh,
Maybe
It's
I'll,
like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
yeah.
maybe I'll get there.
I haven't
someday.
been to the one in Asheville.
There's a slide
Oh,
and free beer.
free beer? If you do the tour, you get like one beer or something.
Yeah, but
They can't just be giving out free beer.
They're real loosey goosey with it.
Really? All right, I'm going to Asheville. That sounds
You should.
awesome.
I need to head there too.
Yeah, you might need to, man. That's awesome. So tell me about this winter warmer here. So,
So-
you got this is the one you got the blue ribbon for, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. This is the one that I sent off, and I just sent it off to see what happened. And it was funny because I sent it off. My wife's like, "Do you?" I said, "I have no idea. Like, I'm just sending it off, see what happens, and see where I rank up there." And they post them online. So we happened to that Sunday. The judging and everything was on Saturday. They announced it on Sunday. So I said, "Let's just grab us a beer. Let's go to Eastern Divide, grab us a beer, hang out there." And I was just kept scrolling my phone. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, they're announcing, they're putting them up, and they put them up by categories on their webpage. And, they got to that one, and I looked down, I looked up, and I said a few, holy,
yeah.
holy, and she goes, "What?" And, my 2 girls were sitting there, and I said, "Holy," and my wife's like, and by the time the 2 girls are looking at me going, "What, Dad?
What's
What?"
going on? Yeah.
And I said, "Holy," like, one more time, third time. I turned it around and I showed my wife my phone, and she goes, "Holy." And it was like, and then the girls were like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, "It may never happen again." I said, "But just remember, your dad will always be remembered as a blue ribbon home brewing,
I
There you
just
go.
want to point out Pabst has been riding
Oh,
their
yeah.
blue ribbon since
So-
1892.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can ride that for a long
So
time.
you've
It's
got some
accepted.
mileage. You've got at least 100 years.
And that's what I told them. I said, they can't take it away from me now.
Mm-hmm.
I may never do it again, and
So
I
they-
probably won't do it
They
again.
ship
but
that. They ship that to you. Is that hanging up in your garage?
It is
or-
hanging
yeah?
up in the garage.
Yeah.
If you check out my Instagram page at LEWS Brews, I've got all that. I'll have to let folks in if they want to join in on it because there's so much stuff out there. I have to pick and choose who.
Sorry, I've been
Who I
saying
let in.
Lewis. Is it LEWS?
E-
LES?
LEWS.
I saw the little beer thing up there. I thought it was an I. My eyes
Apostrophe.
were deceiving
It's
me.
blue ribbon.
Oh, okay. LEWS. Man, my bad. I've been saying it wrong. But your
That's
last
all
name
right.
is Lewis, right?
Lewis, correct.
Okay, so that's where it kind of came from. LEWS.
So my sister, yeah, whatever that would be.
Your
Sister
sister's
and-
sister? I think that would be your sister.
My sister-in-law, my sister-in-law always called me Elu ever since she met me. So it just kind of stuck.
Okay, and that makes more
So-
sense because that now it rolls off LEWS Brews.
LEWS
okay,
Brews.
that makes way more. Why didn't you correct me? You
I
can
just-
correct me if
I
I'm
just
wrong.
let it
you
go.
know? Yeah. Well, that's something you might want to have properly out there. Oh, okay. He's
Brews.
saying my brewery wrong. Okay, this is going well.
But I will tell you, like, we're going to have to fix it because there's a lot of folks that see it that way as well. So I'm kind of used to it now. And
It's probably the
It's the little
beer
beer
pint
the beer,
over the end of the W.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful logo.
Well, now that I'm looking at it all, it's not as
So I think
on the glass. It looks like LEWS Brews because the beer bottle is bigger.
yeah. I don't
But
think
on
you
your, I
change
was
anything.
looking at your shirt, and your shirt, yeah, I would keep it.
I think this is a learning exercise, and if anyone says
And really, it's
Lewis,
just
just
because-
point him to this minute of this.
And I bet anybody that
Podcast.
thinks that it's because they know your name and they just think it's
right.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why. So
And we had the apostrophe in there first. And I said, well, let's make it a beer mug.
yeah, no, I like
let's
that.
make it
I
a
like the
mug.
little
Let's
beer
go
mug.
with it.
I like the little beer mug. I thought the little beer mug was the was it a tilde, the little dot above the I? That's what I thought the little beer mug was, rather than an apostrophe.
And throw
So,
some umlauts in there.
yeah, there we go.
Real metal.
Oh man, so this winter warmer's going down nice, but we got another beer to drink, so we might need to chug this this blue ribbon here. So
Oh, I also never scored the pumpkin porter. And I feel like it's worth mentioning. That's another one of my least favorite styles, the pumpkin beers. But man, out of the park again. 4.5.
see, and here's the other thing: the scores get better the more you feed us beer. If you haven't realized,
That's what I was
there
looking-
might be a correlation there. I don't know.
No, I gave the salty salamander a 4.75. That's so far
Right
off
off-
been the standout.
Okay, so that's been your favorite. Okay. Well, what about the winter warmer? Did you try that?
Yes,
You were drinking that, right?
you hadn't scored it yet, but that's a 4.25.
The winter warmer, the pumpkin was a little better in my book, so I'm gonna pop it down a quarter to 4.5. But this is still very good. I can see why you can get a blue ribbon for this. How many of those sort of contests do you enter, or have you entered?
Not very many, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I just, because it's.
Is it just like when you make a beer and you're like, this is pretty damn good, I should enter it somewhere,
Yep.
and then you just see what the most
See
which one's coming up?
Most of them you got to have them so far in advance.
Oh,
I miss
really?
most of them, but you can find one here and there that you can bottle it up and go. But then again, it's you're paying for somebody to judge your beer, which I don't pay for anybody to judge my beer in my garage.
No.
So the only thing you're not getting is a medal, or so if it's all about the medals, then sure, then enter everyone that. And I know there again, Instagram, there's people on there that enter all the time and they're putting their medals up, this, and I'm not really.
Well, you're not an actual brewery.
Right.
I could see the appeal of that and be like, oh, come try our, silver medal, this, that, and the other. There's a reason, but you got nothing to prove.
So, is there a scenario where you're registering for a contest and you don't have the beer ready? Because you mentioned it's months in advance, and you're like tailoring it.
Not yet. I usually, if I have one ready to go, like you said, and I know, hey, it's pretty good, everybody's gave it decent reviews, that's when I'll do it. I haven't made one specifically for an event to send off and go. To me, there again, it's almost like a business. Like you're trying to just
Yeah, then you're
trying to go
catering.
and
You'd rather brew what you want to brew, and if it's good, it's good.
and have what I have in the garage and just just be happy about it. I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong. It's fun when you do get rewarded like that, but it's
not why
the-
you're doing it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's
I just realized we popped this last one, and I don't even know what it is. What do we got?
that is the coffee stout.
Coffee.
And-
Oh, there we go.
You're gonna love it,
And
Drez.
these
Nah,
were
yeah, I don't know about this one. We'll
these
see.
were these last three were brewed a while ago. So I mean, I was kind of worried about
Well,
the
honestly,
age of them.
the last two have been fantastic. So we'll see. But I'm not a big stout guy, as I mentioned. So.
This is,
and I
again,
don't drink coffee.
Right in
So
my
I'm
wheelhouse.
gonna go ahead and take a small pour on this one, and we'll see where we go. But
What's the ABV on this?
I
You
have
know?
no idea.
I
It's got to be around a 6.
can
Yeah.
definitely smell the coffee.
Because there again, if you drink a couple of them, you're definitely
Yeah, I could see
It smells like
it's
two of
gonna
my
be around
favorite
there.
things:
Yeah.
coffee and beer.
but it's definitely coffee. You can say that.
All right, I'm going to deviate just because it randomly popped in my head. I'm assuming with your line of work, you're a Tech fan.
Absolutely.
You got a pro football team that you support?
I do, but I'm not sure I want to talk about them right now. And it's not the Commanders.
He's a Cowboys
Everybody
fan.
usually goes Commanders.
Well, that's me. I guess if that's what they're known.
No, he's a Miami Dolphins fan.
No, never.
Really? Is it because Dan Marino went to Pitt?
I mean, Dan Marino has something to do with it, but I'm a big John Elway guy. The Denver
Okay.
Broncos.
Oh, Broncos.
You know, the laughing stock of the NFL right now. But they're figuring it out. They're going to
Right
make it
now,
work.
but
They're going to make
look
it
at their
work.
legacy.
They're going to make it work. Yeah, that's, I don't like living in the past, but unfortunately for the last 7, 8 years.
That's what you got to do.
That's where we've been. And, thank goodness for
Wow.
Peyton Manning in that 2015 year. So,
Yeah.
but we're
well,
going to get back. We're
I
gonna
am
get
a
back there.
Washington fan, so yeah, you're not getting any sympathy from me, man.
I mean, I guess you could be a Panthers fan.
Oh, well.
They're-
Yeah, you kind of forget about, because around here you think there would be more Panthers fans. We're closer to Bank of America Stadium than we are FedEx, but you don't see a whole lot of those, do you?
I have a long, drawn out theory on all that. It's the TV deals. Like, there's a lot of Braves fans in the area. You know why? Because the Braves were carried forever. The Atlanta Braves baseball. But
Is that? But okay, I guess that theory will hold water. The test will be 10 years, 15 years from now, because
streaming,
nobody even has TV
I think
anymore.
it's going to die off and it's going to change, and
Yeah. But that is interesting. I never thought about that.
sports will be much more interesting.
Okay. All right, let's get back to beer. I don't know, beer and sports, they kind of go hand in hand. And Studio B, by the way, is the talk studio, which we have a local sports show. So there's just a lot of jerseys. That's what spawned that question. So, and also, signing day the other day. And I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good. You're always hopeful at the beginning of the season. Especially as a Tech fan, you know how it is. You're
Yeah.
always hopeful, and then it, sometimes the hope dwindles. But what do you do?
Talking back to the NFL, we haven't been hopeful. We've been a pretty tough fan
Well, that's the
base.
thing. Well,
and-
you set your expectations low, and then then you're not disappointed, and that's not a bad way to do it. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I wish we could talk forever, but I'm pretty sure we're stepping on JT's toes at this point. So I think that we might need to wrap this up. I'm sorry. I really wanted to have that winter warmer last. I did suggest that.
You
but
did.
Now we're ending with the stout, or maybe I'm the one that said to do this one last. But either way, this is not my favorite of yours. But luckily, I think there's still more of that pumpkin. So I might finish this one real quick and then get back to the pumpkin. I'll give this one. This is probably my least favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I don't drink coffee. I don't really like stouts. This is probably just a 3.5. 3.5 for me. I'm still gonna drink it, of course. It's beer, and I appreciate you bringing it to me. But you brew better beers than this, in my opinion. And like you said, I guess it's been sitting for a little bit, so maybe that's a factor as well.
I'm going to make up for his opinion. 5. Straight 5.
There it is. Whoa.
I love coffee.
Whoa.
I love stouts.
He's just being nice.
No. There's a beer from Star Hill. That's one of those like go-tos for me anytime I see it. The Red Rooster.
Red Rooster.
And they make it with Red Rooster coffee in Floyd.
That's a good point. What coffee did you use with this?
I believe this was Dunkin' Donuts.
So you don't even need to use the good coffee.
American runs on it, baby.
Because I've used Dunkin', I've used like the first time I ever did a coffee, I used like a Starbucks, like heavy dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay, but I mean, it's coffee. It's coffee and a beer.
As
long as it's
long as it's not Folgers.
So this is right up your alley, though, right? This is.
Oh yeah.
Do you drink coffee?
Oh yeah.
Do you like stouts?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
straight
5.
It's definitely.
your
Darker the better.
Your
for me.
pint of beer, I should say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm all aboard on this, and don't change anything about that.
Well,
Ignore DreZ's opinion.
we were lucky enough to get to try a plethora of your beers. Obviously, you're not you don't have a brewery open, but people could just pop by your garage, right? You want to just give out
What's
your
the
address
address?
for all of our
Yeah, my wife told
I
me,
need it
said,
for my
please don't do
GPS.
that.
But
Please,
so
please.
but is there anywhere to get your beer at all, or try it? Or join that group, maybe that Facebook group?
Join that group.
Yeah.
And there again, the meetings that we have, we usually, everybody brings it. And I mean, the first meeting I went to.
And do
there
you
were
have
20
any
beers.
prospects to do it at all commercially, or put it in? Like I said, I mean, I don't know, beer festivals or anything like that, or
See, with my job, I'm a busy guy. Go. So when I retire, I'm going to have something to do. There could be something down
that's a
the
great
road.
thing to do.
I'm just trying to perfect everything I can right now. while
Trying
I
to
can't-
perfect your retirement plan.
Mhm.
All right.
I like that. It's a good attitude.
All right. Well, where can people find you? I know you mentioned your Instagram earlier, but is that the
Instagram, I've got Instagram at LEWS Brews. There's also a little Twitter, LEWS Brews as well, but I don't really post a lot on it.
Well, it's actually
but-
called X
X-
now. That's how
X,
out
Twitter.
of date you are with the Twitter.
So it's kind of, I like posting the pictures, and people enjoy seeing that kind of stuff
Mhm.
all the time. So that's why I choose the
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram place. So
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for coming in and bringing in the beers, man. I really appreciate it. Next week. What?
before you go, I
Oh.
actually brought you guys something here.
Oh, what do you got? What
got
do you
you
got?
some.
As if you haven't given us enough already. We got all these
you gotta-
great.
you gotta-
I'm assuming this koozie is for me to keep because
Yes,
I collect
yes.
koozies. I'm
You-
definitely keeping
No. That's
gotta
my
have-
that. You
koozie.
got to give that back.
You got to have T-shirts to wear here.
Awesome, man. Hell
I've got
yeah.
You guys.
Sweet.
I hope I got the sizes right, but
Oh yeah, I'll be a medium. I
Rock
can
it.
definitely be a medium.
rock that thing around town when people
That's
ask
cool, man. You
you.
even got it on the sleeve. I like that.
People ask you what is that? Say, I mean,
Heck
maybe
yeah.
one
You
of
gotta
these
know.
days. Maybe one of these days.
That's good. I have more T-shirts than you can imagine, and but this is a nice one, dude. That one's definitely going right in to rotation because you rotate through them. You know how it
Maybe on
goes.
one of the next Brewsday Tuesdays, you can be rocking the shirt.
I will.
I surely will.
That'd be awesome.
I generally try and wear beer shirts, although today I'm going Fender because of trying to match, and stuff. But all right, we digress, dude. I mean, we're definitely stepping on. Sorry, JT. I know he's like knocking on the window to get in here. So that's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. Thank you so much, Erik, for coming in and sharing the beer.
Thanks again.
LEWS Brews, baby. Keep an ear/tongue out for him. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, that sounded bad. All right, I definitely need it. These beers are good, obviously. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm saying stupid stuff on the radio. That's a wrap on Brewsday. That's a wrap for me. I will be back tomorrow. Until then, see you.